Welcome back to the Sound for More channel. Today I have the pleasure to show you a new MIDI generator called Harmony Bloom. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe as it helps with growing the channel. Thank you very much. Additionally, if you would like to have an opportunity to own a copy of Harmony Bloom, please do follow the instruction contained in the video description to enter the giveaway, and remember to collect your code if you are notified that you are a winner through the description of the video, where I will leave who has won. Okay, so Harmony Bloom, a MIDI generator, so available for iOS, Mac, Windows. At the moment we are inside AUM as a host, and therefore iOS platform, indeed an iPad. So AUM, we click on the plus sign and we just create a MIDI channel. And then in that MIDI channel, we search for Harmony Bloom, and there it is. Now let's open it up, and you can see that is the interface with this nice greenish color. Now it is actually quite a visual sequencer and MIDI generator, which is quite nice, and I will show you a little bit more in a moment. Usage in terms of CPU, actually quite good, not bad. We'll see it as it goes. Keep an eye here on the DSP. It works standalone as well, which is quite nice in terms of selecting some internal sounds and using those. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to use AUM, and we are going to create another audio channel because we want to have an audio source. And we're going to search for Nerd Synth, which has been recently released by AudioKit, a fantastic synth. Now, let's also bring up the AUM keyboard, link it to Nerd Synth, and let's start creating a patch. At the moment, we have the simple one. Let's change the cutoff. A bit of resonance, and we just give it a bit of modulation from the envelope as well. We go to the oscillator section, we remove the sustain, increase the decay, more release, a little bit of attack. Now we are going to do something similar on the filter envelope generator. Okay, perfect. Add a bit of reverb. Not too much. We go to the effect as well. Add some chorus. Unison. A little bit probably more release. Let's see what it sounds when we connect it to Harmony Bloom, like so. Now we open up Harmony Bloom, and there it is. Now if we click play on the transport control of AUM, nothing happens because you have to set it to respond to the host. Clicking here. And it's very simple. At the moment we have these, if you like, part active. When you click here, this dot here, and every time as it is moving around and it's one of these dot, it's this line, this connection, it actually generates a MIDI note in this particular case, and therefore Nerd Synth is actually playing. In terms of notes that is played, it is here in terms of note collection. So let's select a major, but it can also be notes that you collected through MIDI capture which at the moment the bottom right is off. You can set the root and the scale as well, if that is what you prefer. So root here and scale here. And of course, click and hold, and you find that you have controls like so. You can move up and down to increase the number of notes, like in this case. Let's let them set to 8. You can randomize like so, or you can go up and down in terms of control. So it's pretty straightforward. Of course, when you have a lot of notes available, they will overlap because more than one note pass this line, which we have defined. Now, let's reduce the number of notes. Again, let's go to something like 8, so it's simple. So it's going through the scale from C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, okay, and then 1 octave up, okay. It continues like that depending on the speed here on this wheel and also the number of notes available. I can change the duration here of the note. The loop length, slower, or I can divide it, so it's faster. I can set the probability here. If I double click where there is a number, of course you can enter a number yourself. And ultimately, if you are not using the host to tempo, you can define the tempo internally. You can move up and down octave here, which is quite nice. So probability 100 here, otherwise it will not play. Quite nice, changing a little bit the tone, okay. And perhaps what we are going to do, we are going to add, why not, Stella Vox, and see what it sounds like. That sounds really nice. Now, so you can activate multiple lines so that every time these dots here will go through the line will produce notes, and therefore they will start to overlap, right? So let me show you. And you also have a lot of randomization possibility where you see this dice symbol you can randomize. You have a overall randomization here, but you can randomize the number of notes, duration, loop length, probability, the root, the scale, and also the offset here, which I will explain in a moment. Up here, you have different controls. If you click here, you have links to support, videos, content, web, of course. Yeah, you can, if you click here, you reset Harmony Bloom to default setting. You can bypass it, of course, and then of course you can save. You can go to preset to randomize the choice of a preset, going to the previous preset or to the next one, or access the preset view as well. And then you have undo, redo, and then if you click here, you have this view here, which allows you to change the color for main, center notes, outer notes. So you click and then you define what you would like to see. You can see the colors are changing here. There you are. Okay, so you can actually define the color as you are, and of course you can also reset them. Okay, so there you are clicking on this symbol. Well, you see this symbol here is it means reset. Okay, so let's increase the number of notes, and you can see the complexity is going to be very interesting. So in this case, we added a little bit of delay to for a little bit of fun, really. Now, let's reduce the number of notes again to a minimum 8. Okay. Okay, so the notes will play only will pass when we'll pass through these node. Okay, now you can change the offset. So first of all, you can change the quantization of offset here. So for example, you can go to 1/8. (132) faster. 164, and so on. The other thing you can do, you can change the offset for the speed, S for speed. Okay, so let's randomize. So you can see they're moving at different speed. Okay. Again, let's reset this down to 0. You can also add the free offset here. So let me show you. You can see it is moving. Click and hold, of course, and you have different, of course, patterns which create, of course, interesting beat. You can also decide to change the offset in an even way. So let me show you. And by the way, if you click and hold, you have access to a different to additional options like resetting the value, do learning made assignment, also remove it from global randomization, or added it from the global randomization, which is here. Okay, so a lot of different options. So you can see is evenly played. Like pair of two. And of course you can do also a global offset. Down here you can start play, revert to the direction, link it to a keyboard, of course, and I'll show you that in a moment. And you have different option here Okay, like for example, the minimum notes, the maximum note, if they're linked together, minimum velocity, maximum velocity, and then you can randomize that as well. And of course, you can capture MIDI, and of course, you can save as well and drag and drop the MIDI that you generated. Okay, so one thing I like to do as well is just to show you how else you can utilize it is, for example, bring in another MIDI generator like polybud, link the two of them like so. So the input come from polybud. Then we go to polybud, we set the rate quite low to change every 1 bar. The scale, we set it to minor, and then we defined a pattern that will be played like so, and that will change the notes which will be played. You can see when polybud is sending a new note, the notes that have been played change. You can also capture it as well, which is quite nice. Notes that are coming through MIDI. So let's maximize the window like so. Perfect. Let's click play. So you can create some very interesting effect. Okay, but the beauty is really to generate different patterns, right? Like so, etc. Now, you have a global randomization button here. It's great. So you can hear how you can use it in your music composition. Of course, if you have something like polybud here, setting effectively the bass chord, then Harmony Bloom will play in that patterns according to what polybud is sending into it. And of course, you can do much more than that. So if you click this symbol here, you go in this visualizer mode, okay? And you can click and select some notes like so, and then you have this option which comes available at the top. You can pin this so that it is always available. If you unpin it, of course, it's not available unless you have selected some of the dots here, or which eventually are nodes. You can click this one to select and this one to deselect, this one to toggle selection between selection. You can randomize the selection. You can remove the selection, of course, like so. You can reverse, okay, and of course spin them. So, and the beauty, of course, is that you can play with the note you have selected to activate them or not, and add more variability. So let's select more notes. So you can have a lot of fun, right? And then, of course, here in terms of MIDI controls, you can see all but the type of parameters that you have available. So enough to actually drive further modulation. As you can see, CPU utilization is not bad either. You have to remember that in this case we have an instance of Polybud, Harmony, Bloom, you have Nerd Synth, and also Stellar Vox. So you have a lot going on. Now let's listen to some of the presets as well. Let's try that, for example, with something like a piano type of instrument. So let's go to pure piano and let's connect these to Harmony Bloom and listen. So hopefully in combination with something like Polybud, but it doesn't have to be Polybud, it could be another DAW, another MIDI generation app, you can see how you can add it inside your music composition. I hope you enjoyed the introductory tutorial, and as always, see you next time.